All right, big pod today. Big pod, great series to cover. So much to talk about. It was almost hard to fit it all into the hour plus we've been recording at this point. Repping the Red Wings jersey today. Hockey season is underway. Justin Esch from the Preds will be joining myself, Jack Agner, Levi Fleer, and Ty Frenznick here to talk about the cinematic series that was the Preds versus the D-backs in last Friday's semifinal. Going into detail into that series, the trade that Esch and Drew Davis were a part of, giving our thoughts on the end of the D-backs season and this fun Preds team and how gritty that series win was, and wrapping up with a big announcement regarding the hot dog challenge that is coming to you from Jack Agner on October 25th. With that, this is the Pipe It Up podcast, and cue the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pipe It Up podcast, the official podcast of MLW Wiffle Ball. Thrilling series to get into today. We do have Justin Esch on the phone to start the pod here this week. Justin, welcome to Pipe It Up. I think this is your first time calling in.
Yep, first time.
First time. Welcome. Warm welcome on behalf of all of us here in the Pipe It Up production studio. First off, congratulations. Great series, great win, historic win for the Preds, just monumental in just the fashion that it went down and how intense it was. What was really going through your head post-game, just with the ups and downs of the series and how many times you guys were down to seriously, like, you were one strike away or you were one out away. They were one hit away. It had to have been almost like shocking / numbing post-game, just thinking about how you actually ended up winning that.
Yeah, that game three kind of felt never ending. I mean, it was crazy. Ryan, I don't know how confident Ryan, Drew, and I were that we were going to get out of that. I think it was the bottom four or maybe bottom three. Bases loaded, no out. Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know. It was something.
Take us through that play that you made at second in the bottom of the third. It seemed like a pretty just reactive play, but I got to think like you were pretty nervous there. I know I would be in the field. Like, what was going through your head in that play?
I'd say I was more nervous before it was hit than when it actually happened. I don't know. I mean, you guys have experienced it. When it's going on, you don't really have time to think about it. You kind of just react, you know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell on camera. The field is much smaller. I mean, doesn't look big on camera on the YouTube videos, but it's definitely smaller when you're there in person too. So you don't have much time. The bases are real close, and luckily it was hit to my right, not to my left, or else I probably would have had to try to make a play to Ryan at first. But who knows if he would have got there? I mean, Jimmy's quick, so luckily it was hit to my right, and I could just get a flip to Drew. So
Not an easy play at all. This was one of the series where I'm watching it and I knew the Preds had won the series, but even my heart's racing like, how are the Preds going to escape this situation? It just looked so grim. Like Jack said in the third, when you made that play, the bases loaded, no out situation in the fourth. I think it was the fourth. It felt, I'm a Tigers fan. I think most of us here are Tigers fans, except for Ty. I think he's a Dodgers fan, which is crazy.
Still a Tigers fan.
Crazy. But the Tigers played in a very similar series on Friday night where similar game, where it just seemed like every inning there was going to be runs scored that was going to decide the game, and then somehow, some way, managed to get out of the innings. And credit to you, Credit to Drew, credit to Cratched. How intense was the atmosphere? I mean, I heard some Jimmy yelling just through the microphones that are attached to the cameras. I'm assuming he was pretty vocal all series long, and he's an intense competitor. This is really your first postseason experience. Was it more tense than you thought it might be?
yeah, I felt some pressure from some baseball games in my lifetime, but I mean, I don't know what it is about. It could just be the audience that I know is going to see it, but I've never felt pressure like that before. We also know what's on the line trying to get to California, but yeah, it is definitely something else. It was a new experience for me. It's fun.
Yeah. Justin, I do got a question for you. Obviously, I wasn't there, but how, for you, I know that home run was huge in game one, and it broke up a lot of momentum that Jimmy had going into that from the first 2 innings, as he honestly looked really good. He had every pitch on a string, it seemed like. How did it feel for you to kind of break up that momentum and kind of break the game open knowing you have game one, especially in a big swing in a big spot like that? Because obviously one run that Ryan walked was probably not going to be enough. Just take me through that at bat and what pitch that was, and what were you thinking before that?
I mean, we had got one on, I believe Jimmy walked in a run because I hit the grand slam. Yeah. So he walked in a run, and then I don't know what count it was. I don't know. Wiffle ball's tough. I'm not really sitting on a specific pitch, honestly. I just was looking for something close. I swing a lot. I get slandered in the comments for chasing all the time. So yeah, I mean, I wanted to swing the bat, So I think I hit a slider out. I've hit Jimmy's slider for a home run before in my career. So I don't know, something about that pitch, Me and Russell both see it, I guess.
Not only did you have that one big home run, Justin, but all your at-bats that day just seemed to be just like on tap. You're just hitting a lot of balls in play. What was the strategy that you were doing at the play? And also, were you seeing Ryan tipping pitches from second? And did that have a factor in it?
I actually do not notice Ryan tipping from second base. I see everyone saying stuff about it. I think Drew likes getting it from Ryan, but I usually try not to think about that much. I remember people would tell me what pitch was coming before, and it was the wrong pitch. So I just kind of started
Yeah.
to disregard it. In the
Yeah.
video, it looks bad. I mean, Ryan's literally going like this, and then I swing, hit a home run. But um, as far as my approach goes for the day, ever since I came over to the Preds, I noticed Ryan. Um, he shortens up. I mean, in a traditional baseball swing, you leg lift, get your timing down. I still do that a little bit, I believe, but I tried to shorten up my swing a little bit.
I feel like that's always I feel like that's always like, when you're struggling, that's a quick, I feel like that's a buzz phrase, as someone who doesn't really know anything about the actual mechanics of what a swing should look like. You just got to shorten it up. If it's not going your way, just shorten it up, hands to the ball. But you mentioned obviously playing with Ryan, playing with Drew. What has it been like for you to be involved in this trade that really, didn't necessarily take you from worst to first, but worst to a title contender pretty much overnight? I guess just describe what that's been like so far, making that transition and how that's gone.
I mean, we knew that this was going to go down a long time ago from when this podcast is being filmed. So
Mm-hmm.
it was hard to keep it in for a while. I was excited. Preds were in the World Series last year, didn't get it done. So obviously to come here this year, we know that the guys that me and Drew joined want to get revenge and seek a title or seek a title appearance again, and then possibly win one. But it's just been, I don't know, it's been kind of crazy, man. It was fun when we were out in Maryland. Drew and I knew about this trade, and some fans are asking some stuff like if you could get traded anywhere, where would it be? And I wouldn't say the Preds, but and then yeah, I don't know. It's been fun.
I'm sure it's been easier to do that with Drew along your side, who kind of drafted you into the league. That was my first question actually, is how did you get on Drew's radar? I don't know if we've told that story or not on the pod, but I forget.
Drew and I have talked for a while, probably since I don't know, probably since he came into the league. I didn't really know Drew. He was just he was an MLW player. I happened to know what MLW was at the time. I would message him. He's probably one of the guys that wouldn't get bothered as much about it. He likes to respond to people. And then me and him just, I don't know, we kind of stayed in touch a little bit throughout the years. And then he just shot me a text in January or February of 2024. And he's like, hey, you want to play this year? I'm like, sure, why not?
So wait, I didn't know this. So you've been talking to Drew behind the scenes for 5+ years?
Yeah. Not a lot, but here and there.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Were you playing wiffle ball also, or just baseball? Have you played any of the MLW tournaments leading up to this year?
I played in the 2021 Wiffle in the Mitten. That's it.
Wow. Okay. I see. I think I knew that you were a baseball guy. I did. I really didn't know how you and Drew got in touch. I did not know you were a longtime MLW fan. So that's probably been pretty cool. No, I mean, I know you're a little older now, so you might not like cherish it as much as you would have if you were real young. But that's kind of pretty cool. Getting in the league, making a little noise.
Yeah, it's cool. It is
Um,
cool, and like my parents like watching and all that. They knew that I had liked it since a young age and stuff. So it's cool.
that's awesome.
Were the Cobras your like team, would you say, when you were kind of like a fan? Like, is that why you originally reached out to Drew?
Yeah, I liked watching him, Kraus, and Andy back
Yeah,
in 16, 17, something like that.
good squad.
So when the Mallards won in 2017, defeating the Cobras, how'd you feel?
Heartbroke. Me and Drew. I remember texting him about that. I was young. I was 13. Yeah,
You were
it's
all
funny.
young.
That's
I
crazy,
remember
dude.
watching it.
That's cool. What last question I'll ask, and I'll let these two guys go. So you knew Drew, you get brought into the league, you play a year on the Cobes, have a couple flashes, a couple home runs in your limited playing time last year. You get moved over to the Preds. I know you said it's been good and you were excited because they're contenders, but what about the actual guys in that squad? You know, playing behind Cratch, who's so talented. The other players in the team, Russell, Porter, Warda. How's it been just in the new environment? And yeah, just what are your thoughts on the Preds clubhouse?
It was super fun with the Cobras because me and Zerlag were the youngest, and we're both 21. So now I move into a different team, and I don't know how old are Russ and Warda?
26.
Right. So the cool thing about the Preds, I think, is I can relate to them a little bit, and then I can relate to down to Levi and Porter too. So I think that it's cool in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Justin, I mean, obviously joining a new team is tough pretty much to get adapted in a short, quick amount of time, but I want to get your opinion on this. I feel like you've been playing better as a Pred than a Cobra. And I mean, does that have anything to do, in your opinion, with just the talent of the team, just having the talent around you, kind of a step up from the Cobras? Is that kind of causing you to play better or feel like you have to play better, with a lot of talent around you?
Yeah, I don't think we've played up to our full potential on the Preds yet since we've joined, but I think like I had never seen a game plan before a series until me and Drew got thrown into the Preds group chat, and then I get text message this big from Ryan the night before. I'm like, oh wow, like you guys actually like study this, and so I mean, obviously, I think that would help, right?
Yeah.
Does having just a better lineup necessarily help you too? Because I know the Preds lineup is definitely a step up from the Cobes. Like having that behind you, not being like one of the only productive hitters in the group, that's got to be, a positive thing to have on the new squad.
Yeah, I mean that definitely doesn't hurt either. It's not that I thought that I was the guy that had to get it done on the Cobras. I was confident enough in Drew and Cole. Cole's been pretty good this year. But I mean, yeah, I mean, if I strike out or whatever, I mean, it's Drew and Levi right there behind me, and then we've obviously seen Russ have some moments too. Warda hit a walk-off home run against the Eagles, I believe. Yeah, I mean, there's guys on the bench that would probably start on the Cobras, obviously. So
Yeah.
I do think just watching this last video, you're doing a great job like fitting into that clubhouse. It seems that from just like a viewer standpoint, and certainly I think Levi last year kind of gave the Preds something they hadn't seen in a while, just being like another clutch hitter outside of Ryan. Warda and Russell can obviously be a little bit streaky, I think, and I think you're kind of adding into that lineup, which is cool to see. But of course, as a first time Pipe It Up guest, we've got to just rattle off and let the listeners in on who Justin Esch is outside of wiffle ball. So I've got a few questions for you. First one being, what is your favorite snack food, or maybe, if you got a cheat day on your diet, like what you're going for?
I mean, I try to stay relatively healthy. I mean, steak's probably my go-to. That's my favorite meal. I love it.
Mm.
Steak and some rice, broccoli. It's all good.
How do you like the
Uh,
steak cooked?
cheat. Medium rare, I'd say,
That's a good answer.
for the most part.
Good man. Good man.
Okay.
What's the cheat day?
Oh God. I don't know. I really don't love eating a bunch of junk food. I mean, if I'm gonna call it a cheat day, like I'll snack on some like chips and Cheez-Its and stuff like that. I'm not a big candy guy, which is kind of crazy, but
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah.
All right. What is your dream car?
Dream car. I'm not gonna say car. I'm gonna go with a Ford Raptor truck.
Oh,
Nice.
I like it. I like it.
Those are classy. Those are classy.
Very
And then what do you do, outside of wiffle ball and baseball? We obviously know that you have a baseball background, love playing wiffle ball. What else do you do for fun?
Well, I'm done with baseball now, so that's freed up a lot of time. But I mean, right now I'm down at Michigan State. I'm studying. It's my last year of school, and then I don't know. I like hanging out with buddies. Obviously, I like golfing in the summer. I like playing hockey in the winter. Pick up pond hockey. I don't play like organized hockey or anything. And anything sports related, man, I love it. I'm a stat junkie and all that. So
What an athlete.
That's awesome.
What an
That's
athlete.
awesome. Yeah. Just an all around sports guy.
Yeah. Of course.
Okay. Then follow up bonus question. Sports guy, greatest athlete of all time.
all time, it's tough to like pick it for all sports. I mean, when I hear greatest of all time, I think of Jordan.
Hmm.
That's who I think of. I guess
I like it.
Jordan.
That plays.
Jack,
That
what's your
plays.
answer to that question?
The greatest athlete. I feel like it's hard because the question makes me want to think like who is the most athletic.
Yeah, okay, that's a good question. That's a good
so
good
it's kind of a
question to
loaded
pose to
question.
the question.
Yeah, if I were to say like the most athletic, I feel like you maybe have to go with someone who like crossed over sports, like maybe like a Bo Jackson that, he played football and baseball.
Dion.
You could also probably argue like Usain Bolt, just like I don't know if his records are broken now, but he was just unreal. Or like Michael Phelps, like just like an unbelievable freak of an athlete in their sport.
Yeah, most
Those are the
athletic.
ones that come to mind.
Most athletic, I think, is a different question than like greatest sports player ever.
Yes.
Most
yes, it is.
athletic, I would have to do more. I feel like I'm uneducated in knowing like who really is the most athletic person. Like I think Deion Sanders, again, like you said, a Bo Jackson, Deion, just freak athlete playing 2 pro sports in the same day. We have not seen that since then. But I think like most dominant like player of any certain area, I feel like I'd go with Tiger Woods, who's definitely not the best athlete, but I mean he was just so dominant in his sport for a chunk of time that we really haven't seen anything like in any other sport.
Great one.
Any other major sport, I should say. I'm sure there's been like a badminton player or a darts thrower who's just been like a
There's
stud
gotta
for
be a
20
darts
years playing.
thrower
Or like Joey
Joey
Chestnut.
Chestnut, yeah.
Joey Chestnut.
No
Joey
one else can do
Chestnut
what he
might
do.
be even more dominant than Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
We'll be talking hot dogs later. That's a good segue. Yeah, Joey Chestnut for sure.
That is. Okay.
All right, Justin, I got one more question for you. I know you're just new to the Preds, so this is going to be a good one. Would you rather spend 12 hours in a car ride with Evan Porter or 12 hours in a silent room by yourself?
Oh my God.
I feel like there's only one right
There's
answer.
only
doing
one
a car
right
ride
answer.
with Porter.
You're going with the car ride with Porter?
That's not the popular.
I don't think that's the right
12 hours alone
answer.
In a room would suck. 12 hours in a room alone would suck. You gotta think about it.
That's true.
It would.
Why are I don't get why Ty and Levi are Porter haters. Like I sense the Porter hatred.
No, there's no hate.
Not hatred.
I mean,
not
We're
hatred. I
buddies.
shouldn't say
We're
hatred.
buddies.
We
I
have been on
shouldn't
a
say hatred.
12 hour
I know you
car
guys-
ride.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know if you guys actually have been on a 12-hour car ride with Evan. It's not the best thing ever. That's for sure.
But did you have fun looking back on it?
No, definitely not. Honestly,
I sense some hate in that voice, Jack.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like he would be good, good content. I don't know. 12 hours by yourself that's miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russ would pick the 12-hour quiet room for sure.
Russell hates
Not
car
an
rides
Evan
in
fan?
general.
Oh.
In general, Russell hates car rides for sure. Also, speaking of hate, I thought there was a lot of serious parts to the post-game interviews on both sides. But I thought when Kyle mentioned Bennett and Jimmy's like, "I'll never love Bennett," that gave me a good laugh amongst this serious post-game.
Always catching strays, dude. Always catching strays.
That was so funny to me.
It's like the most emotional post game that's ever been done in MLW, and somehow Bennett somehow Bennett is the butt of the joke. Like, of course.
So good. Justin, while we still have you here, I got to ask you about the Mallards now. Looking ahead, another 3-game series to send you guys potentially to LA. What are your initial thoughts on the matchup? I know we've already played it, so maybe you can give us a little bit of a sneak peek in terms of what Ryan was saying in the group chat before that series. Like, what's the true game plan for the Preds heading into that one? If you want to share, you don't have to.
Well, the game plan is much different because I faced well, I guess the Preds did too, but I got to face Jordan this year with the Cobras, and he shoved on us. I think he unselfishly sat himself for the third inning of game one, and he could have perfect gamed us. He perfect gamed us for 5 innings instead of 6.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, personally speaking, it's going to be a challenge for me to be able to put bat on ball. I have to be disciplined, lay off inside 2 seams, and just be selective with my pitches. And I think that goes for the whole team. I think Levi would agree.
Well, best of luck to you fellas. It's going to be a thriller. I'm looking forward to it. You know, when I first heard that the Preds won, I was like, okay, I think I like that we match up against the Preds better. But then I was thinking, and I'm like, well, the Preds aren't really the same Preds that we played in New York, given that the guys in the field are Cratch, Esch, and Drew now, and 2 of the 3 of those guys were not on the team at that given time. And you have 2 of the 4 bats in the lineup that are totally different. So this is going to be a matchup that we've never seen before for, like, my preparation. I don't know a lot about you, Esch. I wasn't at the Cobra series. I know Drew's pesky. Ryan's great, obviously. So it'll be an interesting one for sure. And I was looking forward to the challenge, and it did not disappoint. So, Justin, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. Awesome to hear you've been a fan for a long time. Appreciate you following the league and now being a part of it.
Sweet. Thanks for having me.
Cool to talk to Justin on the pod.
He's so calm. Probably the calmest guy of all time. He'll hit a home run and be like, he'll hit a home run and be like, yeah, just an inside slider. Took it to the outfield. It's like, dude, let's go.
We're keeping that in. We're recording everywhere, right?
Yeah, we should be.
That's funny. We'll keep that part in. Justin, chill guy. Chill guy.
He's the opposite of Porter.
Chill guy.
You got to have a balance on the team, you know?
Yeah, you do. You definitely do. I think you need the energy guy. You need the guy who's super high energy, kind of all over the place. You need the level-headed guy. Yeah. You know, you need those pieces, I feel like.
You need a Levi in there somewhere.
Like in the NFL, I think it's great to have the level-headed. This might be frowned upon, but like football's a violent sport, right?
Yeah.
It's a violent sport. And I think you got to have the level-headed, by-the-book guys, but in order to strike a little bit of fear in your opponents, you got to have a Brian Branch who's not afraid to throw a punch post-game. It's just how I feel. Yeah. You got to have some guys that are a little frisky.
But not can't really have
I don't
like
encourage
Antonio
violence.
Brown.
I don't encourage violence, but I think you need to have a little bit of a fight in you. You know, what are your thoughts, Jack?
I agree. I don't think there's really any good excuse for punching someone. No,
that's not what I was saying.
Especially after the game. No, I know. That being said, I don't think Juju Smith-Schuster was he was not innocent. Let's just say that. If you rewind the tape, there's pretty clear and obvious hit. As the game is expiring, that I definitely think is what probably set Brian Branch off. So, but yes, your overarching idea of you got to have some balance, I totally agree. Okay, good. I don't encourage violence. All the families out there listening, don't fight on the field. But play with some fire. Play with some fire is all I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Great interview with Justin. Chill guy. This was a crazy series. We didn't really dive into the specifics. We talked about some of the situations the Preds were in. But crazy series. One of the more
heart-wrenching, like nerve-wracking postseason series I feel like in a while. I mean, World Series in Atlanta that you played in, Jack, comes to mind. The series between the Cobras and the Predators to go to SoFi comes to mind from 2022. It was just, I was on the edge of my seat there in Game 3 after Game 1 and Game 2 were both so lopsided. Levi, you said you were watching the whole thing on FaceTime, or?
Yeah, I was at a wedding reception.
Wedding reception.
And Porter's calling me from the Meadows, and the quality is not very good. I mean, it's it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, so I'm really like relying on the lag to stop. And I just remember the funny part is it was bases loaded, nobody out. He was on the phone. He goes, Levi, I'm gonna hang up. It's over.
So this is in the 4th.
Yeah. So he truly thought it was over. He was like, I'm hanging up. I gotta go. It's over. And I was like, Evan, just stay on, dude. I was trying to convince him. He was in a terrible mood. Like, Evan, just stay on. It's bases loaded. And then he gets the pop out, and he's like, oh, we got a chance. And then it was the strikeout. And he's like, uh-oh. Then I hear the crack of the bat, and it's, like, delayed. And I'm like, oh, it's over. I was like, darn it, really? Like, Ryan really led it up to that. And he just starts kind of going like, he starts breathing real heavy. I'm like, what happened? What happened? I'm trying to talk to him. I'm like asking Evan what happened. And it's like 10 seconds later, he was like, dude, Justin Esch just made a great play. We're still alive. I'm like, there's no way. I was sitting there in the wedding reception going crazy on FaceTime that I couldn't even see. It was actually quite a moment. It was pretty cool to kind of be a part of it, I guess. But yeah, just hearing the news, and then, when Russ hit the home run, he said, you won't believe it. He said the Bartolo Colon hat? Yeah, he was like, the improbable has happened.
Yes.
He announced it like that. I was like, oh, that's funny. But yeah, it was
Bartolo has done it.
Yeah, it just felt like surreal hearing about it. I was like, I really have to see the video to truly believe and picture everything in my head. And yeah, the video came out, and it was as good as advertised. It was an awesome series, tons of up and down. And I think Russ, that home run is going to be remembered in Preds history. That was awesome.
Cinema. What were your thoughts, Ty?
Dude, I was there for like the whole series until that last inning, so I missed Russ's home run. And just like Levi said, I couldn't believe it either.
How could you leave in that situation?
I had to go to work, dude. It was a long series.
I'm sure
it was really long. But yeah, no, I was sitting in the parking lot of the Qdoba ready to go into work, and I get all these texts saying that Russell walked it off, and I couldn't believe it.
Go ahead.
Again.
Go ahead, Homer.
Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yep.
He did it. He put the dagger in, won them the game. I couldn't believe it. Same thing. I still haven't even watched that part of the video yet.
Really?
No, I didn't get to finish watching the video.
Dude, I was locked in on Saturday night. I threw it on, and again, Game 1 and Game 2 were not what I thought they'd be, because I heard the series was so great.
Right.
And I'm like,
Game
what
1,
happened to
2,
Game 3?
exactly,
and then Game 3 was just, and Kyle like edited it very much like a movie, where like some at bats were really drawn out and a lot of time between pitches. He showed the full at bat of when Jimmy grounded into the fielder's choice to Esch, which was really cool. I hope MLW fans had the time to watch it. It was a pretty cool piece of content. So, and Jack, I know you watched earlier today. It sounded like.
Yeah, no, it was unbelievable. I mean, I did not think that games 1 and 2 would play out the way that they did, but I do think if you look at the series as a whole, it just shows how good both of the teams were and kind of how even they were. I mean, you had phenomenal, at times, like all phases of the game. Like, there were fantastic defensive plays being made all over the place. There were, home runs. There were unbelievable pitches, like just everything you wanted in a wiffle ball series you got. And I liked your call out in the interview with Justin, because I was watching it literally, now it's 2-3 days or whatever since that Tigers game that almost killed me staying up to watch. But it was I felt like I was watching the same game. It was like, when is this gonna end? Like, is this ever gonna end? Like, I clicked on the video and seeing it being like 45 minutes long, I'm like, okay, there was probably some like ridiculous, 8-inning like pitcher's duel. And it was kind of a pitcher's duel, but like it also wasn't. Like, there were just like plays being made all over the place, and just a super exciting game. So I definitely feel for the Diamondbacks. Losing like that is never easy, but I am excited for the Preds to just see a team like kind of go all in, making that trade like for Justin and Drew, and at least through their first playoff series, I think it paid off in a big way. I think Drew was actually a really big difference in this series.
Yeah, I said it beforehand. I thought he'd be an X factor, and I feel like he was. I think he had 4 hits in Game 3. Let me say this: I could go on so many tangents from this series, especially the third game. But Drew Davis, a very tough play that ended up tying the game when the D-backs were down to their last out. Nobody on in Game 3. Then Jimmy gets legs out the double, and then Saylor hits the line drive. I think it was Saylor that got past Drew that scored Jimmy. Tough spot for Drew. Really tough play. One that he's made before, but Jimmy was kind of in his way. The ball was hit hard. And I'm sure, it's not an error on paper by any means, but it's one that Drew, if he keeps it in front of him, that run probably doesn't score, and the Preds may have won it in regulation. And we know Drew, he's an emotional guy, wears his heart on his sleeve. And the fact that he was able to rein it in, have some big hits in extra innings. He got the first RBI, I think, before Russell got the home run. Made some great defensive plays after that. It seemed to not bother him, which, I don't know, just knowing Drew for as long as I have, that surprised me a little bit that he didn't get way down on himself. So, low-key, proud of Drew moment. That was pretty mature of him to put that behind him, make the next play, and end up, being a big reason why the Preds won that last game. So, super, super big props to Drew for that. I was surprised to see the way he handled it. And I could keep going on all kinds of stuff on this series, but go ahead, Jack.
I think Nick Saylor was fantastic.
He was too,
defensively, offensively, he was fantastic. The one thing I would say, or I guess I just want to open it up for discussion is, the management from a bullpen perspective, because these teams have people available. Both these teams, have people available that they just didn't go to in the series. So I guess, I think I have my thoughts on that. Number one, I would say, from the Predators standpoint, I said it before leading up to the series, I felt like the difference this year from previous years is that they did have a guy they could trust on the mound. And I felt like after Game 1, I know it's easy to want to try to ride the momentum and just, throw Cratch back out there in Game 2, but you also do have to kind of know that the Diamondbacks aren't just going to lay down. They saw Ryan for a game. I don't know. I obviously hindsight's 2020, and Evan ended up coming into the game, and it wasn't like he, pitched the lights out by any means, but I just thought that if there was a time to throw him and switch it up, I thought that would have been the time. But what did you guys think about both teams, I guess, in their bullpen?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was a little bit shocked by that too, knowing that we had the lead in the series, and I felt like there was kind of no bad outcome in a way, even if we did lose that game, because Porter going out there's a totally different pitcher than Ryan, and it kind of messes with the heads of the D-backs hitters. And even if they're on Porter, they would have to go back to hitting Ryan in Game 3, which is not an easy adjustment from a tall righty to a short lefty with completely different stuff. I mean, I get it in a way, but I also don't. I mean, I think if we're in that situation again, I would like to see Porter in, because he does bring a lot of momentum if we need it. He has a lot of sway in games and how they go, with just his morale on the mound and the way he kind of picks his teammates up and can get out of jams as well.
I think it was a good call putting Evan in, getting him some playoff reps. And also, other than that grand slam, he did pitch pretty well. I think you said he had 2 scoreless innings in there. So that's good.
But did you like how they started Ryan in Game 2?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
I do like that, yeah.
Okay.
Because Ryan gave up runs. That's why they put Evan in. So, yeah. I think it's because they don't want to have them see him for that long. So they're taking Ryan out, putting Evan in to kind of get ready to have a newer look into Game 3. So they're not riding Ryan through 2 games, also seeing Ryan in the third game.
Okay.
Kind of like that, yeah.
I mean, it's tough, Jack. I think I saw enough from Porter in the regular season, especially late in the year, to where I think I would have started him in Game 2 with a 1-game lead. If they would have lost Game 1, I don't know if I would have had the confidence in him to pitch in an elimination game. But I think I would have started Porter there. I mean, he was put into a tough spot. He didn't do great. But I think if he starts that game and gets sort of his swagger going, then I think it would have been a different outcome for him. I don't blame Cratch at all for leaving himself in for as long as he did in Game 3. I think he's the right guy to have out there in that moment. But, I'm
100%.
curious. I heard that he didn't throw at all in this series, and that made me immediately curious with my guys in our group chat about, like, will they use Porter or will they not types of thing. That move intrigued me for sure, using Crash as a starter in all 3 games, given the sequence in which the games happened.
Yeah, again, I don't think it obviously didn't end up mattering for them because they got the series win. I think when you look at it from the Diamondbacks perspective, it's the opposite, right? Like, they lost Game 1. You would think if they won that maybe Jim thinks about throwing Sully. I mean, Sully also pitched really good. You could also see a world where Jim just goes again. But I think having lost Game 1, they're going to throw Jimmy back out there, and then it's Game 3, so they're going to throw Jimmy back out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking of Sully, I mean, we're talking about his pitching a lot, but he does have a huge impact at the plate, especially this year. I think he had 2 walk-offs, I believe.
Yeah.
As well as a handful of bombs. And he's always just kind of like coming into the league, I really didn't see him as being a bat in this league. But I mean, after that home run from Jordan, off the home run off Jordan, I kind of thought, like, dang, this is going to be scary if a two-way player like this, as a lefty, we really haven't seen that before, as a true two-way player. But yeah, I mean, he had a great year, great rookie campaign. Obviously, he's up there for Rookie of the Year. He played his tail off every time he showed up at the Meadows. I'm really happy for him. He had a great rookie year, but like, yet again, I mean, it's the rookie year. This rookie class has been really good with Porter as well, Brady. So I'm excited to see the Rookie of the Year race, but I think that these new guys are having a lot of impact on the way MLW has been changing lately, because Justin Esch and Drew Davis, if they weren't on the Preds, we're not going to win that series because our defense would have not been who they are in that series.
Yeah.
And defense definitely won us that series for sure. Justin, very new, pretty much second year. So, I mean, just the rookie class is really evolving. I think we're going to see a lot more high-intensity series like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. The defense impressed me so much. Sailor just threw some dots from, like, deep at shortstop. Perfect throws over to Jonah.
Yeah.
There was actually a play, I don't remember if it ended up costing them or not, but don't sleep on the value of Jonah Heath over there at first either. He's rock solid over there too. He ended up having to come out of the game, I think, at some point, and Pish had to go in. I forget what happened, but Pish ended up in right field. And I think he actually sort of didn't think Sailor had a chance at one of them. Then Sailor made the throw over to first, and then Pish wasn't there to cover. I think it was actually a pretty good throw.
Yeah.
Then the runner ended up getting to third. Was it Drew?
I think it was Ryan.
Ryan
getting to third to start off that. I think it was Game 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, the defense was just so crisp. Sailor really impressed me. Drew and Esch were solid. They're becoming like a new defensive duo, a new duo as a whole. And I feel like, I was definitely sleeping on Esch as a part of this deal, but no longer. I mean, he's a great, great player. And then, of course, in the Preds, I haven't really talked about Russel a lot, but how cool for him to get the home run. Nice for us veterans to see, huh, Jack? Russell he looked relieved out there to contribute in a big way like that. I was really happy for him.
So stoked for Russell. That was like the most Russell / like Preds thing ever too. Like, when you least expect it, he's the one who gets the home run. I was very happy for him. That was one for the old guys. You got to just recognize and appreciate that was one for the old guys. So good job, Brennan.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a great team win for the Preds.
It was.
It was just everybody contributing. Great to see Drew and Esch in there too. Also, Russell, for all you guys, all the old MLW guys contributing.
Yes, I appreciate it. 100%.
It was great.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan's composure, the whole series was impressive. Like, it almost seemed like too, when they finally got the last out at first base, he was like, we did it. Like, I can't believe we actually won that.
And I still can't believe that getting out of a bases loaded, no outs. That is so tough. Like, especially in like wiffle ball, man, so tough to do.
Yeah.
Ryan really did a good job of keeping his composure. Both guys, great leaders, great captains going at it.
It was.
Clash of the Titans. I mean, those are like the two most recent MVPs. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, both teams definitely have really bright futures, but I do want to get into one thing, and that was, the post-game interview with Jimmy, and some of the remarks he made. Really, if this is the end to Jimmy's career, I think that would be a really, really tough way for the D-backs to kind of not fall off in a sense, but it'd be a tough rebuild, I would say, to get back to this position maybe in years to come. But I want to get you guys' thoughts and opinions on what was said in the in the emotions that he showed in the final in the interview.
Yeah, first of all, I would just say, you can tell from all of those guys, it wasn't just Jimmy, just like how close that whole team is, which I think is what this sport's about. A lot of those guys shared friendships before being in MLW, but many of those are new friendships too, and like you could just see how much they all care about each other. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, Jimmy's comments, I mean, sort of like cryptic, I think, just like based on his emotion. You're thinking maybe it was related to him not being not playing next year, but I think it's kind of tough to say, because I mean it could be some of the other guys that he's played with for like a really long time. I'm not really sure, but I mean I think what you can count on is that the Diamondbacks probably won't look like the team that they did this year from like a roster standpoint. I think he made that pretty clear.
Yeah, I really have no idea if that was. I think it like obviously I have relationships with these guys outside of just what you see on the videos, right? Like I've been friends with these people for a long time now, so of course I hear about guys that are like entertaining not playing or not coming back. I really haven't heard a lot about that from the D-backs yet. I mean, I've definitely heard like speculation, but you've heard speculation about people like who are taking a new job or entertaining moving for years. Like guys like Alec Warda and Brendan Russell, I would have never guessed would have 10+ year careers in this league, who came in as non-baseball players, like not super duper close friends of mine when Kyle and I were kind of building the league out and like expanding with new faces. Even a guy like you, Jack, like we were friends in high school. We weren't like best friends, and you got brought in by those guys, and look at you 10 years later now. It's crazy. I would have never guessed it.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know if there's been more serious conversations behind the scenes with the D-backs team that I haven't heard yet. What I can say, just sort of stating the obvious at hand, is, a guy like Bennett, who the previous couple of years actually like interned in Michigan during the summers or worked in Michigan during the summers. So then that's why he was able to come to more series versus now he was out of state the whole summer, so only made 1 or 2 series this year. Pishka, same thing. He's been a guy that's been commuting from out of state for these series for a few years now, and I don't know how long he plans to keep doing that. And then Saylor and Matt, those two missed a couple series this year. I know they coach a baseball team together. Maybe they have bigger plans to do something in that realm, or maybe like it's getting too hard to juggle both. So like I could go down the line for every guy. So like maybe that's who Jimmy was referring to. Maybe it's like everyone's kind of weighing like what they can and can't do. And then Jimmy, of course, taking a job with John Boy Media out in New York. So I know like he had conversations with me before about how he was going to try to balance those two things. So I think like everyone has a decision to make, like we all do year after year, about where we're at in our lives, if we're having fun playing, if we can continue to play based on our schedules. And I think Jimmy's like, I think sometimes when you go through an emotional series like that and you come out on the wrong end of it, you reflect in that moment and you see your best friends next to you and you realize just the fragility of little things in life like this. I mean, this has played a big part in our lives, but think about how, it's not random. The growth of MLW has been very intentional over the years, but just how special it is, and I think Jimmy in that moment was feeling very thankful for, everything that his friends have done with him and the time he's spent with them. And he's made new friends along the way. Like you said, it's led to him getting a new job in the sports industry that I'm sure he dreamt of one day. So, times like that, you do get in your emotions a little bit when you're just describing your best friends. It's just it's a special thing. And I'm sure he's very grateful for the experiences he's had.
Yeah, 100%.
So
well said.
Yeah. So all in all, incredible series. It kept me on the edge of my seat, like I've said many times before. It made me realize these two teams are really, really good. If I had to compare it to watching a series, like it reminded me again a lot of the Preds Cobras series to go to SoFi. It reminded me a lot of the battle between the D-backs and the Wildcats in the 2021 World Series and just how back and forth that was. And Jack, to relate, last thing I'll say, again, I could go on for hours about this series. It was just so exciting, but it felt, you talked about the Tigers game and the comparison there with the way that Kyle produced the video and the pace that it was shown, which was slower in game 3 than normal, really drew out the emotions and the tension and all that kind of stuff. It really felt like I was watching playoff baseball. Just with the strategy you saw in between pitches and Ryan moving guys around and shifting and just seeing Jimmy attacking hitters pitch after pitch, like it really had that postseason baseball feel to it. I think more than I've ever experienced in an MLW video, which I really enjoyed. It wasn't like it was a 2.5 hour game. This was a 20-minute game to sit down and watch, but it felt like you just went on a roller coaster of emotions. So I would love to hear the Pipe It Up fans chime in the YouTube comments here on Spotify about like how you liked that sort of slowed down and drawn out. There's a voice crack. Slowed down and drawn out version of this edit, because I think that was very intentional by Kyle. I actually made a comment about it when I walked in, and he was like nodding his head. And I don't think that like longer content like that on the internet these days is super popular. I would say it's the exact opposite, actually. It's like very much just trying to keep your attention, boom, boom, boom. This was more like watching, again, like a live sporting event, not in a more condensed fashion, but in the way it was produced, I like got that feel to it, with just the drama.
There's definitely a lot of positive feedback that I saw in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, a lot of people loved it. It was produced really well.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, let's get more comments in the Pipe It Up page about it.
Yeah, let's run it up. Run up the comments. You gonna read the comments, Ty?
I always read.
Can you be our dedicated comment reader? Anything from Kev Dog lately?
I haven't looked. I was just gonna. I actually just went to look and then realized my phone's right there, so I couldn't.
It is.
But Kev Dog, you're still here with us in spirit. So
absolutely. Well, to bring it all home, comment of the week comes from Josh Ackley this week, and Josh says, Drew was so big in that third game. Without that trade, there's no way they advance. He gets on base with a single and then drives in his own run for the game winner. Russel made it better for him than mentally with a 3-run home run, but the first go-ahead run was so massive. Both teams were just playing their hearts out this series. And I selected that one again. It's just a shout out to Drew. What a series! I mean, I'm rooting. I want to beat Drew, but I'm like kind of rooting for him here because it's just a different role. I feel like he's not the same like captain all over the place Drew. He still is, but it's more confined because he's just a player, not a captain here.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting watch, I think, the rest of the way with Drew Davis. Okay. That was probably our longest series summary in a year, Jack. We talked a lot about that series.
Yeah, a while.
It was easy to talk about. To circle back on a topic we haven't talked about in a few weeks, I'm not talking about our age gap conversation. I'm talking about the hot dog challenge. Jack, I'm not letting you off the hook. I feel like we kind of went into a lull there and hadn't mentioned it. I missed an episode. You missed an episode. Then I was thinking about it on Saturday. I'm like, we never really scheduled that. And so I called him out over text. I said, Jack, you got to pay the piper. And what was your response, Jack, to that?
I don't know. What was my response?
You said, okay. You said, I want to do it. You said, I'm a man of my word.
Oh, yeah, of course. Obviously, I'm a man of my word.
Of course.
I thought you were looking for something specific there. I didn't remember the exact text. But yes, absolutely. I'm not going to. It was never. There was, although the podcasts have been inconsistent in my attendance over the past few weeks, there was never a doubt in my mind that I would be executing this challenge. Actually, when Tommy texted me, he was like, we better figure this out because baseball's about to end. And I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot that we were doing like like we're kind of limited here by this season of baseball because we were going to do 9 innings, 9 dogs. So yeah, it's here. We're doing it.
Yeah. So anyways, when I texted him, because again, I know Jack, like you had a sick kiddo. Our schedules are busy as it is. So I was kind of like, hey man, hot dog challenge. Like we got 2 weeks left to do this kind of, how you feeling? And I kind of was like, if you can't make it happen, we'll figure something else out, trying to be nice about it. And Jack's like, oh no, I'm eating the dogs. Like we're going to do this. So
yeah, we're doing it.
I think we've landed, Saturday, October 25th. So less than 2 weeks from now. We'll promote it next week too at the beginning of the episode. October 25th, Saturday, most likely an evening live stream. It'll be MLB World Series Game 2. I'm thinking that'll be like 7 or 8 o'clock at night if I were to guess. Jack will be attempting to eat 9 hot dogs in 9 innings. And we'll have a live stream on YouTube again. I don't know if these 2 characters will be involved or not. We'll figure out the logistics of it.
Gonna help them out.
A couple ideas that I have is maybe, Jack, we have like mustard and ketchup and some other maybe good or bad things, and we can unlock those things with some donations from the people who are supporting you in your challenge.
Yep.
But I will say, Jack, that I will source the dogs and the buns. So if you have a specific brand or kind of dog, now is the time to speak up so I can get my grocery list together.
Okay. I'm gonna default to you because I feel like you're on the up and up in terms of what a good hot dog is.
Of course.
I don't
Tom's is a
regularly
hot dog
buy.
guy.
Of course.
I don't regularly buy and eat hot dogs other than the occasional Costco hot dog. Because you just
that's a serious.
It's
dog.
a steal. You got to recognize a deal when there's a deal. So that's that one I do frequent. But other than that, I'll default to you on that. As far as the bun goes, I would just say like whatever's got like the least amount of ingredients. Like I can't just be shoveling, I can't just be shoveling preservatives in my mouth, nonstop. But that's kind of hard to do with a hot dog bun. So just do the best you can. And I'm going to eat 9 of them. And it's going to be in less than 9 innings.
Okay. Yeah, Jack, I will say if you're worried about the ingredients of the bun, I think the ingredients of a hot dog might scare you a whole heck of a lot more.
Well, that's yes, that is also true. I mean, none of this is healthy, so we know that.
It's probably healthier than bread and sugar, if I were to guess, but
yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit for sure. I'm a little bit nervous that we're doing it in the evening because I feel like
that's fair.
But also we did the waffle challenge in the morning, and I thought that would have gone really well, and it did not. So we're switching it up.
Yeah, I was so confident in that, and it went so poorly. Well, Jack, as a connoisseur of encased meats, what I would say is that I'm more of a Frank guy. So I think a Frank is like a mixture of pork, chicken, and beef, all just thrown together.
Okay.
And sleeved
I think
up.
I'm gonna request all beef.
So all beef, I'll say, probably are a little healthier, and you really know what you're getting. But I feel like they're gonna sit heavy. Yeah. I feel like they're gonna sit real heavy. But if you're at like a ballpark, you're getting an all beef dog. I do know that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like I think I'll go all beef. Let's do all beef.
Okay. We'll look
let's
into
keep
all
it
beef.
Let's keep it like as if we're
in a ballpark.
If we were at the game.
I think Joey Chestnut, when he sucks down 70 of them on 4th of July, I'm pretty sure they're Nathan's Famous dogs, Jack. Nathan's Famous all beef dogs. So I can look into sourcing some of those.
I mean, think about it. Like he does that in how many minutes? Like how quickly does Joey Chestnut eat 9 hot dogs?
Oh, he's less than a minute for sure.
Less than a minute. And I have what? Like basically 2.5 hours?
2.5 hours, yeah.
It's easy,
least.
Jack.
Dude, I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to come on here and be like, I'm super confident and then look like an idiot.
Not
but
fun.
Like, have you tried this, Ty?
I have done this before. Yeah.
And it was not fun.
It's not fun. Well, I did this with my 2 buddies, and this guy Liam, he comes out to tournaments and stuff. Evan Porter's brother.
Mm-hmm.
He got these hot dogs where like I don't know what kind of hot dogs he got. They were the worst tasting hot dogs I've ever had. They were like really thick,
Probably
like,
all
kinda
beef.
short. I don't think they were. Or they might have been, because I think he was trying to be healthy, like some sort of organic hot dog, whatever
Organic
that may,
hot dog.
whatever that may be.
What a scam.
It was just awful. I got through like 8 of these, and I just wanted to die. It was the worst. But yeah, it's not fun. And
Good luck.
I can eat a lot of food too. So
And we'll have an assortment of condiments on
Yeah.
hand. I'm thinking, at the bare minimum, we'll have mustard, ketchup, probably pickles,
Relish.
probably relish.
dude, I was slapping mayo on these hot dogs.
If you want some Coney Island chili, I can pick some of that up and get it on the stove. Gosh, that would be a mistake, but
That would be such a mistake. Such a mistake.
Long story short, October 25th in the evening on the Pipe It Up YouTube channel. Expect a couple-hour live stream with Jack eating a dangerous amount of hot dogs. So I'm excited for that. A couple weeks out. We'll definitely be posting about it frequently here over the next several days. And yeah, what a pod. What a series. This Friday, Eagles versus Wildcats. This is a big-time chip on your shoulder, mental revenge game from the Cats, who the Eagles wanted and threw the game against the Cobras to get them. So I've heard it was a good one. Don't want to spoil anything, but I think you will not be disappointed with this video you get on Friday either. So good follow-up to... You think that was a tough act to follow? Well, I think this is the perfect series to follow that. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you to Justin Esch for joining us. Next Wednesday, we will be back to cover Eagles versus Cats and preview the Mallards versus the Preds. So thank you all for listening. We will catch you all next week.
Pipe it up, 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 pipe it up.